I think that the magazine's too Liverpool to be attractive to other people.
Well, at first we thought that, but there seems to be a lot of people from around the country, you know, been writing in.
I think with me, I'd just left school. I think it was about 1982, and I think with most people I saw a copy of it like third hand, and somebody had bought it on a special, I think, going down to a Tottenham game or something like that, and had passed it to me mate, and then me mate had passed it to me.
It wrote about people who wore tweed jackets, jeans, casual clothing. It wrote about people who were into the Jam and the Clash and the Undertones and reggae, as opposed to people who were into Bauhaus and the Sisters of Mercy. And it was funny. It was something which genuinely reflected the sense of humour of a whole group of people who were disenfranchised at that time.
The main thing about it was the fact that it was very working class. It was very humorous, and it was kind of about all things that I was interested in. It was a large thing. It was largely about football, but not just football, like working class life, really. When the end come along, you could see that there was something there that was speaking to you on your own terms, not patronisingly, and would reflect like your reality.
Yeah. It was written in the style that you talk, satirical articles, shall we say, the way you take the piss really out of each other in the pub or whatever. The end was written in that way, and I'd never seen anything like it.
What I really liked about it best was probably the fact that it had a sort of total disdain for everyone else, whether it was people from Leeds, Manchester, London, or anywhere else in England. And I quite like that attitude, because that's very much what Londoners are like, and they were certainly like that at the time when you're younger. So it sort of touched a nerve with me. I quite like that sort of feeling of superiority that it snootily had.
It just seemed like the guys writing it were having a good time, and it was very accurate as well. You'd seen, didn't matter if you lived in Liverpool or wherever you lived, you'd seen those sort of Saturday night characters in the street and in the clubs and the bars, and it had real spirit and it was different.
And as a magazine, it seemed to me to combine terrible spelling notwithstanding and so on, a complete lack of understanding of English grammar and so on, but it seemed to me to combine all of the things that you would want from a magazine. It's about football, music and going to the pub, and it just seemed to be spot on.
There's a lot going on in Liverpool at the time. Like sort of we becoming more political as well, because you couldn't be unaffected by what was going on in Liverpool in the early to mid 80s. I think we ended up getting calls going from idiotic hooligans to lefties by the end of it.
Thatcher was sort of in her element at the time, and it was a reaction against all that. It was like tied in with Militant, tied in with the Toxteth riots and that, and the end was just another sort of manifestation of Liverpool people asserting themselves in the face of this sort of onslaught.
Socialists with a small S probably, but certainly was of a left persuasion.
I remember various right-wing elements. There weren't many of them in Liverpool, but used to say we were a pinko pop mag for the uneducated, which I think's a great description, actually.
The end had, as I say, from a football point of view, it was right. From a musical point of view, it was right, and from a political point of view, it was right. So it was. It represented everything, not that I am or was, but everything that I wanted to be, really, at the time. And I not only admired Hooton and Potter and the rest of them, but I wanted to be like them.